Hi Meredith, it's nice to see you again. My team and I have been working hard on how to help you. You may or may not know that you had tetralogy of Fallot when you were younger and had a patch placed inside your heart to try and close the opening between the lower chambers. However, we believe that this patch has been failing, which has reopened the hole. This, along with your overriding aorta, which means that your aorta is a little too far to the right, has been causing deoxygenated blood to mix with oxygenated blood and be pumped to the rest of your body. This lack of oxygen in the blood is why you collapsed while you were running during PE, and is also the reason for your tiredness, weakness, and why your skin is sometimes blue. Your body needs oxygen to function properly, and because the blood being sent isn't completely oxygenated, it is causing problems like fatigue and weakness. This condition is very serious and you will need open heart surgery as soon as possible. I know this is a lot to take in, but if my team doesn't get in there soon, the consequences could be deadly. Tetralogy of Fallot has four distinct symptoms: a hole between the lower chambers of your heart, your aorta, the main vessel that sends blood to the body, being shifted more to the right side of your heart, a narrowing of the vessels that connect your heart and your lungs, and your heart muscle becoming too large, lowering the amount of blood your heart can pump out. In your first surgery as a baby, the surgeon enlarged the vessels connecting your heart to your lungs, so we won't need to do that again, but we will need to replace the patch. However, as you may know, this patch might not hold forever, and it could lead to more instances of you having problems like this. You also have a heart murmur, which means that the pulmonary valve isn't closing properly, and blood is flowing back into your heart. This is putting even more strain on your heart and should also be dealt with. We can do a valve replacement without much problem, but this is also a surgery. However, there may be another option. Because your heart has so much damage, much of which would be difficult and costly to fix, it is possible you could be placed on a heart transplant list. The heart transplant itself isn't very difficult and involves your heart being replaced by a donor heart while you're on a heart-lung machine, which will keep blood and oxygen flowing through you. Once the donor heart is in place, we will attach it to your existing vessels using stitches to ensure that everything is tight. However, getting a donor heart can be a very long process, and there is no guarantee that you will get a heart. Many families don't want to donate their family members' organs, and finding a heart that will match yours will be difficult. If the heart doesn't match completely, your body can reject it and start to attack it. But I know many people who have gotten donor hearts, so we hope that you will too. I think the best course of action is for my team and I to repair and replace the patch and your pulmonary valve for the time being. This will help to ensure that you won't collapse anymore and that your body will not be deprived of oxygen. It will also help to keep your heart healthier than it is now. But in the long term, I think we should consider putting you on a transplant list so that if a donor heart becomes available, we can replace your damaged heart with a new one. Even if we can't find a donor heart, the patch and valve replacement will help to ensure that your heart will work properly, and so you might not even need a new heart. We will, however, need to constantly monitor you to make sure that everything is working correctly. I know this is a lot to take in, but my team and I will work hard to ensure that your heart will start to function properly again, and that in the long term, you will be better off. Once we do the surgery, you can start to return to your normal activities, and in no time you'll be back to your normal self. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask any of us.